on now. Now I can hear myself. Isn't this fun? Eating and getting free stuff. If only family reunions gave door prizes. That would be what this is like. We got to do that. Next family reunion, door prize. All right, I'm making a big old mess on here. You know, the cool thing about tonight is when I'm done, y'all get to, anybody that wants to, I'd love for you to come up after the show and get to chat with you a little more. Some of you I didn't get to give hugs, and that's a requirement for y'all to be here. And then when we're done, y'all get to come up here and we just get to visit and have a good time, and everybody else is going to do the dishes. Honestly, though, it's kind of like at my house. My husband does the dishes at my house, but he can't boil water, so it's a good partnership. Okay, now we're going to make Jordan rolls. How many of y'all had those wonderful cafeteria ladies that made the best yeast rolls? Do y'all remember the day when you would smell the yeast rolls cooking and stuff? That's what a Jordan roll is. It's a very dense yeast roll, and it's just like the cafeteria stuff. So let's get started here. Get all my ingredients out. These are very quick too. A lot of people are nervous about making yeast rolls, working with yeast spreads, but it's really easy, I promise. Try and see, I don't have my measuring cup I need. Alright, we are going to start. You got to have 5 cups of flour. I about got this in memorized. I made this off. We're going to start with just about 2 cups of flour in there. Ooh, that was loud. And then we're going to add our shortening. And we're going to cut this into it. Now let me tell you what I do on Southern Plate. You'll know, I don't use any fancy equipment. I don't like having all this extra stuff to keep up with in my kitchen. And so whenever I cut my shortening into things, I use a long tine fork. But, and I told the students, I said, y'all don't get me no pastry cutter. I want a long tine fork. And then I got to thinking about all the books I was going to be signing and the arthritis that I actually have already at my age. And so I snuck something in here. I'm cheating tonight. I've got me a pastry cutter. And I told the students, I said, don't y'all put no pastry cutter up there because I don't use that fancy stuff. But the cool thing about these rolls, and we're going to put our yeast and our shortening in with our flour and cut that in. These rolls use a lot of yeast. But the great thing about that is the wait time is awesome. I mean, they're going to be done so much faster. So you can have these rolls done start to finish cooking and everything in 1 hour. And that's almost unheard of in making a yeast roll. You know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into here, and then I'm going to add my, wow, that was faster. I may have to give up my long time fork. That was nice. I just ordered this thing last week. And it's got this nice big handle, so you don't have to grip it too tight. Okay, I'm spoiled. All right, I'm going to add the rest of my flour in here. And then I'm going to add melted butter. And here's the key. In making yeast spreads, you don't want your liquid ingredients to be too hot, but they do need to be warm enough to help activate the yeast. So you just think, this is where people kind of mess up. If you get it too hot, it's going to kill your yeast off. And you don't want to do that. You want to be gentle to your yeast. So you just think baby's bath water. If you've ever given a baby a bath, that's the temperature this needs to be. If it's too hot for a baby, it's too hot for your yeast. And I'm going to pour this in here. I got a little bit of water, a little bit of butter, and we've got some sugar in here. That's going to make that good. And then crack my eggs. Get them in here. And this is one of those, I love, anytime I have company for dinner, I love to make Jordan rolls for them. One of my favorite things. They're especially good on Christmas if you have ham and stuff. You have little ham sandwiches during the day and stuff. A lot of people, Southerners are known for our hospitality. And, you know, people who aren't from around here may not understand. They may think we're just born wanting to be friendly to everybody, which is kind of true. But then again, they don't see the flip side of it. We're forced to at a very early age. When I was 15 years old, my Papa Reed was teaching me how to drive. And we were driving down these roads in his pickup truck in Tony, Alabama. And I had a death grip on the steering wheel. That was when you first started driving and you think, how on earth do people drive and listen to the radio at the same time? It's just too much. And we're driving down the road and I thought I was doing pretty good. And Papa Reed all of a sudden says, pull over right now. And he was real stern. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what have I done? And I pull over to the side of the road and I'm just shaking. I'm looking around for a body, thinking I have run somebody over. I know I have. And Papa Reed says, if you ain't friendly enough to wave at people, you ain't got no right being on the road. Turns out somebody had driven by. And Papa Reed didn't wave because he thought I was going to do it. Because, you know, I was behind the wheel. It was my duty. And I learned. I wrote about that in the book. I put, welcome to the South. Friendliness strictly enforced. So this is my Jordan roll dough. You see, it looks like a big lumpy blob when you're done with it. And you're going to put this over here, cover it with a towel, and let it sit for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you are going to have a bigger lumpy blob. So that's how you know it's right. Now let me show you how I do this at home. A lot of people just flour out their counter and go for it. Because I'm lazy, I put a little wax paper out, and then you can just pick it up and throw it away. What I'm going to do is sprinkle this with a little bit of flour here. And see, a little bit of flour. I don't pay much attention to the little bit part, do I? And we're just going to dump out our dough, our big lumpy blob there. Oh, this smells so good. I love this. This stuff is evil. I told him at the trade show when I was talking to him, I said, you know, the kind of food that's in my cookbook is, most of it, it's, please don't leave me alone in the house with this after I've cooked it. I cannot be trusted with it. Let me show you how I do this to make it easy so I know it's going to fit in my pan. I get my 9x13 pan and I set it out here on the counter so I can eyeball it. Let me get that out of the way right now so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm fixing to get real messy here. And you're just going to knead this a few times, and it is going to be a very sticky dough. Your kids love to help with this. It's fun. I really encourage people to get your kids in the kitchen. That's something that's very important to me. It's a way, you know, my mother always cooked with me in the kitchen. My grandmother's always cooked with us. And it's a way of passing down your family recipes and also passing down, you know, the living history of who made this and why they were so special to you. And, you know, it's just, it really makes a big difference. So what I do is I take my dough and you pat it out about the size of your 9x13 pan. You sit here and look at it and think, okay, well, that'll fit. Then, let me try to wipe off my hands here. Katie Rose, my little girl, she loves this. I'll be like the flour monster comes after her. And that's a lot of fun. She says, Mama, can I do that? Wants to get in there. So then, here's the easy way to cut these. Pizza cutter. And we just go down here and zip these suckers up. And there you go. We got our Jordan rolls. And then we're going to put this back in our pan. Now, you can make these as big or as little as you want. I tend to make generous rolls. I like to have big sizes when you come to my house because I want my people, anybody that eats at my house, I want to feel like, hey, we got plenty of food here. Y'all come on, you know. And see, I'm getting, I got to get them in here a little better. I'm spreading them out a bit much. But you're going to put them in your pan like this. I'm going to speed this up a bit for y'all. And then we're going to cover this and let it rise for another 20 minutes. And after the next 20 minutes, it's going to be ready to bake. And we're going to bake these, I believe it's about 350 for 25 minutes, the Jordan rolls. Then when they come out, you can brush them with some melted butter. And let me show y'all the cool thing. This is something that I can't do at home, but I can do it here. Y'all, let's see, we got to click our heels 3 times. Okay. Oh, it worked. It worked. We got Jordan rolls. Perfect way for the oven. Awesome, it worked. And now we're going to give away another door prize while we clean this up. I'm going to use these to make some pork sliders. So y'all will get these when I get done with the next 2 recipes.